Excellent. So, where we just left off in the email chain, Arwen let loose an arrow and Herpes is about to run away. So, unfortunately, the arrow shot gets to go off first. So, Arwen, please make your attack.
Okay, going for a leg shot, looking for non-lethal damage.
Does a 20 hit your AC?
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. 6 points of damage, then, please, Herpes. And what is the effect of a bolstering strike? I think it gives you temporary HP. So give yourself a bonus temporary HP. You can use the blue status bar under your guy. Herpes, you should be at full health and full healing surges there. I topped you up before the game. 41's your total, right?
No, it's 51.
Oh, sorry, 51? Okay.
And I'm also going to... Is this a really big rock next to me?
Can you ping it, please? Yes, that is a really big rock.
I'm also going to move behind this rock.
All right. Herpes, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna keep running or trying to move.
Yeah, go ahead. You have your full movement. You're not hampered in any way. Anything that's like a big thick tree will be difficult terrain, and same with the water.
Okay, which way am I going in order to get out of the Syllwode altogether?
Down is east on this particular map.
I'm gonna move, double move as well.
All right. Got to zoom out. Okay, Arwen, you see Herpes after your arrow strikes him in the leg. Take off into the woods, heading east.
Okay. I am going to climb up on top of that rock and take another shot at him.
Make an acrobatics check, please, or athletics. It's low, like DC 10. Yeah, you're good. You can climb up on the rock easy.
I'm just checking my spells to see which are ranged.
I'm pretty sure we made them all ranged because we changed you to a ranged weapon paladin as opposed to a melee weapon paladin.
Okay, so that counts for my dailies as well.
Yeah. Anything, all of your abilities, if they say melee weapon, they should say ranged weapon because we changed them. But that means you can only do them with a ranged weapon and not a melee weapon. So, like normal paladins can only do their business with a sword, you can only do your business with your bow.
All right, I'm going to have to fire off a daily. Just give me a second to pick one.
There are some trees between the two of you, but unfortunately, you can see there's like a pretty clear path right through. So, I'm going to say Herpes doesn't have any cover. If you had gone just a little bit to the left or right, there would have been some cover. Oh, shit. Does a 28 hit your reflex, Herpes?
Yes, it does.
All right. Then that's 9 points of radiant damage, and you are dazed until the end of Arwen's next turn, and you have a -2 penalty to AC. Save ends.
And then I can still move, right?
Yes. Oh. You should be able to. Are you on your clicker tool? You should have control of them.
Yeah, you're right. I was still in measurement mode.
Oh, okay. Excellent. All right, Herpes. It's the top of your turn. You're dazed by the brilliant, radiant light and the fact that Arwen's arrow was sticking into your back. When you're dazed, you can only take one action.
So, dazed, does that mean... I'm not sure what dazed does.
You can only take one action.
Johnny, while all this is going on, can Arwen be using, like, passive perception or something to notice if anybody is trying to sneak up on us?
Yes. Oh, did we lose you, Dave?
Yeah, I asked if I can move at double speed.
No, you cannot move at double speed, because when you're dazed, you can only do one action, so you can do one movement, or one standard, or one minor. But you can still sprint, so you can do your full move +2. But you'll grant combat advantage, and you'll be at -5 to if you attack this turn, which you can't attack anyway because you're dazed.
So if I move at all, then I grant combat advantage?
No. If you just do a normal move, which is, I'm pretty sure your movement rate is like 6, being a human that's not wearing heavy armor, you can move 6 squares. That's your movement. That's perfect. But if you want to sprint, which adds 2 to that, which means you'd be able to move 8 squares, then you'd be granting combat advantage.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna move.
Alrighty.
And I'm just gonna hide behind that rock that's right there.
Beauty. Alright. Herpes takes some cover behind a stone. Arwen, your turn.
Do I know how far away I am from the Syllwode borderline?
Uh, you're not 100% sure. Make a nature check for me, please.
So, Johnny, can I double move and then use an encounter?
No, because in order to double move, you're sacrificing your standard action as a move action. So you would lose your standard action, which would be your encounter power. So you can move and then do an encounter, or you can move and then do what we decided that you can do ranged attacks on a charge. So if you wanted to double move, you could move and then do a charge, which lets you move your movement rate again and then make a ranged attack. But it would be just a ranged basic attack. You wouldn't get to use any of your encounter powers or anything like that. You're not sure with that roll. Herpes, you think that you're probably about 4, maybe 5 days still to the edge of the Syllwode. You guys, Liliander is pretty much in the dead center, and you've only been running for 1 night and 1 day.
I think I need to get a new dice roll app because all my rolls are horrible.
It happens. So from this angle there, Arwen, Herpes has good cover behind that rock, so you'll be at -5 to hit him.
That's what I figured.
Oh, you're still gonna roll like a 9,000 and still get me. So.
We'll see. If I climb up this tree in front of me, would that put me high enough to hit him?
Yeah, but that would take your entire movement to climb the tree. Oh, we forgot to save at the end of your turn. Herpes, make a saving throw to take the -2 penalty to AC away.
Cool, and that's just D20, right?
Just a D20 roll, yeah. Unfortunately, you are still illuminated by the power of Arwen's god, giving her a bonus to hit you.
Okay, so I want to move 8 squares, so I can do my 6 and then I can sprint the other 2?
You can, but if you're sprinting, then you're also at a minus to your attack roll. It's a big one, it's -5. But, as we said, if you just want to do a basic ranged attack, you can double move and then do just a basic ranged attack. So you can't use an encounter or daily or anything, but you'd still be able to double move and then shoot an arrow.
All right, that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Question, can I not move the whole double move and then fire and then move the rest of the move?
In 4th edition rules, it says you can't, but we changed that. Just be aware that monsters can do it too.
Okay, just because I want to jump behind this rock after I fire.
Okay. So you now have clear line of sight on Herpes. So make a basic ranged attack, which is just it should be on your character sheet, just your bow attack. But you get an additional. No, I'll just subtract the 2 from Herpes' AC, so he's got -2 to his AC.
So I can just use one of my at-wills, right?
No at-wills or encounters because they take a standard action, and what you're doing is technically a charge. So you're just doing a basic ranged attack, which is D20 plus bow proficiency plus dex modifier plus half level.
Okay, I'm going to have to look at my character sheet and figure that out because there's no spot basic bow attack.
Yeah, let me have a look too.
I've been complaining about it for a while. It's just not there.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, so dex mod plus half level is 5. I'm pretty sure bow proficiency, here I've got the basics set here. A proficiency in a longbow is +2, so it's just D20 plus 7. Make a note of that somewhere.
Okay.
You rolled twice. What was the first roll for?
I only pressed it once.
Okay, well, we'll use the one that has the appropriate modifier on it. 22 hits your AC, I'm pretty sure, Herpes.
It does.
All right, so just basic damage for a longbow is 1d6 plus your dexterity modifier, which is 5. So 1d6 plus 5 damage, please, Arwen.
Sorry, just making that note. 1 second.
So 6 points of damage, Herpes.
I did that wrong. I'm sorry. Now I know why it went twice, because I clicked on the thing and then I tried to put the 7 in.
That's all right. Now we know how to do. Okay, and then you jump behind the rock. Herpes, your turn.
That little stream that's right there, is it... What way is it flowing?
It's flowing towards the east. And it's difficult terrain if you enter the stream, so it'll cost double move, but you can also try and jump over it. because it's not very big, as you can see.
Yeah. I'm guessing where the map is where how far I'm able to see where the river goes.
Yeah, where the map ends is just where I ended the map. If you go to the bottom of the screen following the river, I will just move you guys to the top of the stream and say it's a continuation of the forest. So where the map ends is not where the world ends. It's just where I stopped making this particular map. So just do what you're going to do and we'll figure it out. I'll make more map or something.
So I only have one action still, right?
Nope, because the dazed lasts until the end of her next turn. So you are now no longer dazed. You are still, however, glowing with the radiant light.
Okay. I'm gonna keep moving.
Okay.
Try and hide right there.
All right. Make a saving throw, please, against the radiant bonus. Nope, unfortunately, you're still glowing from Athena's mark. Arwen, your turn.
That tree he's behind, it doesn't look very live-like. Is it providing a lot of cover?
It's providing light cover, so you'll be at -2 to hit him. But he's still glowing from your thing. So it's essentially they negate each other out. But it is giving him a little cover. If you wanted to bypass that tree's cover, you'd have to get like over here on the other bank.
All right, I'm going to move, and then I'm going to use an encounter.
Does a 20 hit your AC, Herpes?
It does, as always.
All right. 18 points of damage, which means you're bloodied. And each ally in and you get 6 temp HP, so you can go ahead and give yourself 6 temp HP, Arwen.
I put them in the blue thing, so now it's 7.
Excellent. Oh, temporary hit points don't stack. So you just go with whichever one's the higher one. Thank you. Sorry, that's another new rule for you to learn. Hey.
Woo!
All right, Herpes. That last arrow was devastating. Right through, I'm going to say, your guts. And you could feel it, like the tip come out the backside of you. It's not good. You're bloodied. Your turn, Herpes.
She's right there, right?
Correct. You both have one action point, too, I forgot to mention. So don't forget that.
Yeah. Does that bush look flammable?
It's a little green, but yeah, everything burns.
Does anything around her look flammable?
Yeah, it all looks flammable if you can hit it with enough thing. Like if you just lit a spark or held a candle to it, no, it would not burst into flames. This is a vibrant and green forest here in... now you're like mid-spring, so everything is very lush and green and wet. So there's no like dry, crackly things around. But, like I said, you do enough fire damage to something and it'll burn.
Right on.
Yeah, you guys are in the equivalent of the last week of April.
Alrighty. I'm gonna use an acid orb and throw it her way there.
All right.
Really didn't want to have to fight her, but she's really not giving me any option, and she's not thinking straight, so...
So if you shoot it from where you are, you'll have to shoot through this tree that you're hiding behind, which means you'll be at -2 to hit her. So yeah, you're gonna have to step out. Here, I'll make a little more map here.
All right, I'll just shift right to there, and then I'll take a shot. God, everyone's coming out today. Murgatroyd's here. Mitch is now here.
His acid range is 30 feet, but I'm 50 away.
But I have double.
Yeah,
Because of my...
or 50% more. So your acid orb is actually be 45, right? Oh, but it's range 30. Is that feet or squares? It should be. Hang on. But yeah, he does have extended range because of his blood ability. The acid orb in the book is ranged 20, but he gets an additional 10 feet because of the 10 squares, because it's in squares, not feet. So he actually does get 30 squares range on the acid orb, which is a big range.
That's a huge range. How can someone throw something that far when I don't even think I can shoot an arrow that far?
It's magic.
So did it hit me? What happened?
It was an 8 versus her reflex, which misses. All right, you can still move if you want to continue the rest of your movement. and or use a minor. And you have an action point, so you can use your action point to make another attack or to sacrifice for another move or whatever you want to do.
If I was to move down this way and I squeeze in between these two bushes right here, would that be considered difficult terrain?
If you went through the tree, like if you entered this square, yes. But if you entered this square and then this square, no, it won't be difficult terrain, and you'll have good cover in those trees.
Do I have the range of motion to do that right now?
Yeah.
Killer. Yeah, I'll do that.
And then at the end of your turn, please make a saving throw against the glowing bonus. Unfortunately, you're still glowing. Arwen, your turn. You really are rolling lots of low rolls, Dave.
Yeah, it's, what I do,
It happens. Arwen, your turn.
All right. For arrow shooting, if I'm really close, even if I roll bad, is it more likely to hit?
Unfortunately, no. It's just if you're further away, you get minuses to hit. You don't get any pluses for being in point-blank range. I could workshop some rules for point-blank range bonuses, but we're not going to implement them in this battle.
All right, well, what do I have to do? I can double move to get right next to him, and then can I, hit him in the face with my bow and try and knock him out?
Yes.
What do I do to do that?
Excellent. That would be a basic melee attack. So it would be like D20 plus, the same as shooting your bow. So D20, plus 7. But if you're going to try and do non-lethal damage, it's -4. So it'll be D20 plus 3. And you'll do club damage, which is 1d6 plus your strength modifier.
Darn it.
It's unfortunate. A low roll. So you run up to Herpes and swing at him with your bow to club him in the head, but he is able to evade your attack. Herpes,
Okay.
your turn.
I'd like to use my action point
You may use your action point.
for the same thing.
Okay. Herpes, does a 16 hit your AC with the -2?
Unfortunately, yeah. Otherwise, if that was just a 16, then no, but with the -2, then yes.
Rats. Okay. Well, so 1d6 plus your strength modifier damage, and it is going to be in stunning damage. So Herpes has 12 HP left. So if you can do 12 damage on this turn, you're going to knock him out.
With the strength mod?
Yeah. So 1d6 plus your strength modifier. I'm not sure what your strength mod is. 5. Yikes. All right. So the bow cracks you in the face, Herpes, and it makes your eyes water and your ears ring a little bit, but it's not enough to knock you unconscious. You were unable to knock him out. Herpes, your turn.
So does his
Alrighty.
hit points go back to 12?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But that's just because you were trying to do non-lethal damage, right? I'm just trying to find a way to do knockouts.
Okay, so since she's right here and within, face to face more or less, I'm going to use an encounter power, Flaming Spiral or Flame Spiral.
Is this a ranged attack?
No, it's a close burst too.
Okay.
And another horrible roll. I'm going to use an action point and redo that.
Unfortunately, it's an encounter power, so you spend the encounter power on the miss anyway. You don't get a chance to redo that encounter power, but you can do a different power. Action points aren't do-overs. They just give you an additional thing. So your flame spiral goes off, but it misses Arwen's reflex. She's able to duck out of the way in time, and parts of the forest behind her are scorched by the fire.
Alrighty, I'm going to use a daily. It's an area burst 1 within 10 squares.
Okay, so just a second. Flame Spiral, the effect still happens, right? So until the end of your next turn, any enemy that enters a square adjacent to you or starts its turn there will take 5 fire damage. So you are surrounded by a spiral of flame, so that still happens.
So before I start my next turn, I'll take 5 damage?
Correct.
Got it.
There we go. All right, you're going to spend your action point? Go right ahead, Herpes. Phantom Chasm. Now, this one is a ranged attack, so Arwen will get an opportunity attack against you.
That's fine.
Basic melee attack. Just do the same thing you just did. Hit him again with your bow. You can decide if you're going to do quote-unquote non-lethal damage or not, Arwen.
It's going to be regular damage this time.
Then there's no -4 for your hit, so it's just a straight d20 plus 7.
That's going to kill him, isn't it?
No, because it's a d6 plus 5, because your strength modifier is plus 5. So
Okay.
he won't die. And even if he gets reduced to negative hit points, you can heal him.
You might as well kill him, because he's not going to come on and he's going to do the same thing again.
I'm aware.
Like, seriously, like, this is Herpes speaking, Darwin. You might as well just let us get out of here, because you do realize the same thing's going to happen all over again.
22 hits your AC. Roll for damage, please, Arwen. 10 points of damage for Herpes. Herpes, you're rocked by that hit, but then your Phantom Chasm goes off. Does a 20 hit your will, Arwen?
Yes.
All right, so Arwen, you're hit for 11 points of psychic damage. And you're immobilized and prone until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
All right, so Arwen, at the first of your turn, you're going to take 5 points of fire damage from Herpes' flame spiral.
I did already.
Oh, did you mark it on your figurine?
Took it off of the green square along with the 11 you just said.
Oh, excellent. I just took off 5 again, so I'll put it back. My bad. Thanks for doing it. And then on your turn, you are immobilized and prone, so you cannot move, and you have dropped to your belly. So a rift in the ground opened up, and in a panic, you hurled yourself to the ground, grabbing on to avoid slipping into the yawning maw of the abyss. So yeah, right now you're clinging to the grass in fear that you're about to tumble into the belly of the earth. But you can still act.
Is Herpes' turn finished?
Yes. I guess, Herpes, you can move, too, if you want to move.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to shift right to there.
Okay. Yes. So, Arwen, we did the damage, and you're immobilized and prone.
And there's no way for me to get on prone?
Yeah, you can use your movement to stand up. Hang on a second. I just have to double check what immobilized is. I'm pretty sure it means you can't move, so you might not be able to stand up. Oh, it's too dark in here. All right, I can't find where it is to look it up. So yeah, it just means that you cannot move from the spot you're in, but you can stand up. Because paralyzed is fully, you can't move at all. So immobilized just means that you cannot move from the spot you're in, but you can stand if you want. It's your movement action to stand.
All right, that's my movement, so I'm going to stand up, and then he just has 2 hit points, so I'm going to go for non-lethal damage again, just a basic attack, I guess.
Okay, -4 to your attack roll, so what was it, +7, so it's only d20 plus 3. I'll bet a 9 doesn't hit your AC, Herpes.
No, it does not.
All right, Arwen, your mind still racing of the fact that you're balanced precariously on the edge of this pit distracts you from being able to make the attack.
All right, that's the end of my turn, I guess. I am going to have to jet soon. I'm already 20 minutes late.
Okay, so we'll do our best here to wrap it up. So at the end of your turn, Arwen, please make a saving throw. No, wait, it's not a saving throw. It's to the end of your next turn is when you're immobilized and prone still. So you have another turn of not being able to move. Herpes, your turn.
If I use a second wind, would that be considered a movement or an action or something?
Second wind is a standard action.
Okay, so I'm just going to say to Arwen, you're not able to do anything. I could kill you, but I'm not going to. I want you to remember this moment. And then I'm going to turn around and start moving again.
Okay. Just a second. Let me, before you move, let me just kind of cheat you to the other side here. So you are still in the same place you were. I'm just doing this to make it seem like the map is extending.
Arwen's also going to respond, you couldn't kill me if you tried.
So there. Now you guys are here.
Alrighty. I'm going to move double speed.
Yeah, it's the top of your turn, so you can go ahead and do double move. Yeah. If you move from that space, Arwen gets an opportunity attack against you. So you have to shift one away from her before you can move if you don't want to get opportunity attacked.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Are there any, like, cliffs or anything?
No, it's more like Nova Scotia right? So there'd be some like hills and lumps and maybe small cliffs, but there's no like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid cliffs.
Okay. Reference over my head.
Yeah, there's no enormous cliffs. The biggest cliff that you might find is like a ridge with rocks that's maybe a 10-foot drop, but it's all pretty even forested countryside here. It's hilly, but it's not ridiculous.
Oh, that's cool.
Mostly flat land.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna shift and then double speed.
If you shift, then you can only do one movement because one of your movements is the shift, and then you sacrifice your standard for another movement, which lets you move up to your movement rate. But you can sprint, which gives you +2, but you'll grant combat advantage to her. You can double move if you want. Just your first move will mean that you're giving her an opportunity attack as you move away from her.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like outclassed in every turn here, so I'm kind of fucked either way. So if shifting and moving don't really, there's no difference in this case, then I'll just move either way.
There is a difference. If you shift away from her, then she doesn't get an opportunity attack, but you can only move the 1 square. If you move, you can move up to 6 squares away from her, but she'll get an opportunity attack.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just going to double move. I mean, she's going to get me either way, right? And I don't want to go back, so.
Okay. So go ahead, Arwen, and make your opportunity attack against him. Are you going to go for non-lethal or lethal?
You might as well go for lethal. Like I'm telling you, like Dave is telling Crystal, you might as well go for lethal. Like, you laugh, I'm not. I'm being serious.
I know you are.
What do you say, Crystal? There you go. Went for lethal. Does a 19 hits your AC, I'm sure.
Yeah, about AC 17.
Roll for damage, please. 7. As Herpes turns to run through the forest, Arwen swings her bow around, clouting him in the back of the head. Herpes drops to the ground, blood flowing out of the head wound.
All right, so he's unconscious?
He's unconscious and negative hit points, so he is dying. Would you like to stabilize him? Or would you like to let him die?
I'll stabilize him.
You might as well kill him off.
Make a heal check, please.
What's a heal check? Like just...
Yeah, you have a heal skill. It should be right on your character sheet. Just click the button by heal. Excellent. So Arwen bends down, grabbing some of the healing wounds from her thing, mashing them into the thing, bandaging up around his head. Herpes is at 0 hit points and still unconscious. Are you going to return him to Liliander?
Yeah, am I able to move now?
Yes, you're able to pick up... I guess, what's your strength? If your strength bonus is +5, then your strength is probably high enough. You're able to lift Herpes and carry him back to where your horse is, and slick Herpes over the saddle. Do you bind him and put that collar on?
Oh yeah, the collar's going on and his hands are getting tied because I'm sure if he does wake up, he's going to try and murder me. So yeah, we will do that, and then we will ride straight back to the courthouse.
Excellent. Perfect. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you guys tonight.
All right, see you guys later tonight.